So buddies, today I am going to explain a very thrilling mystery thriller Indonesian film which turned into release currently, whose call is Bangsal Isolation movie. Could be very exciting. There are numerous twists in it, so simply watch the video till the finishing dot. So now, without any delay, let's go directly to the video. The tale starts from an isolated prison, that is, the prison wherein we meet a female Ratna. We see that Ratna is in a very injured nation, and whilst running away from the prison, she feels someone's presence. And whilst she turns again, she sees a ghostly parent, and Ratna is killed there. Now after this, the scene adjusts, and we can see the female jail bus in which there had been a few ladies. The bus is going interior to adult prison at the prison for women, and then sooner or later the bus reaches there, and separately all the prisoners get down. This is, all of the prisoners get down. All the inmates are coming down. A number of them are accused of homicide, and some of robbery. However, we see a woman named Vina who become in jail for drug-associated crimes, after which she was sent inner with the others. They are taken there, after which they all are given their belongings like the dress and many others. Now the warden explains to them in advance that they ought to live right here properly, else something awful will show up to them, and then they're dispatched to their respective locations. She is dispatched inside the cellular. Vana additionally reaches her jail, where she reveals a prisoner named Ima who's behaving like a mad individual. Then another cellmate of hers comes to her and tells her that Miss Ima is a touch loopy. She is an insane kind of woman here. She is keeping apart herself from Weena. She introduces a man named Yen Yankee and tells him that he have to be grateful due to the fact here he has only mobile associates, but in other prisons there are 4 or greater, and here he had an advantage due to the fact there had been greater human beings, so they maintain on combating for some aspect or the alternative, or she says that they could stay here in step with their wish. They are able to sleep wherever they want, in any nook, and there are handiest human beings right here, so nobody will do as they please. And then people go to eat food, where a few prisoners come who look very effective. One among them is their boss, whose name is Bella. Searching at her, it is clean that she has a lot of effect internal this prison. Now from Vini Yankee, she asks approximately the bull, but Yen silences her and tells her to maintain her voice down. We understand that all the prisoners were fearful of her. Meanwhile, a new prisoner named Suri also arrives there. Like her, it become her first day too. She attempts to end up the boss there whilst she has to Bulla comes, and she begins talking rudely to Bulla. Then Bulla unexpectedly picks up a plate and hits her till she gets injured. Vina comes ahead to rescue her, however she cuts Vina's throat. She starts off of all pressing, however then the guards come there, and seeing them she stops. Here the guards have been also terrified of her, and that they do not say a good deal to Bella, after which Yen and Vini come to the jail, in which Yen tells her that Bella is the most risky prisoner here, and it might be higher if she would not mess with her. Now Vina says right here that she nearly killed Suri, and she cannot see everybody like that, on which she explains to her that if he desires to live here nicely, then he'll have to avoid this thing, otherwise whatever can show up. And furthermore, a few people have been killed on this prison for no motive. Now Vina asks him very interestingly that who changed into killed, because of whom this prison changed into closed. She doesn't tell him whatever, and asks him to sleep. Now the bull here will best have its eyes on Vina, because Vina came between them. So Vina changed into also in threat from the bull, and right here she should live secure. Now appearance. This Vina right here is not inside the jail similar to that she came, and if you have not understood yet, then I would love to tell you that Vina is really Ratna's sister, i.e. the initial Ratna, and she or he got here right here to recognize the motive in the back of her sister's loss of life, and he or she came enter this jail intentionally, after which they go to sleep, and at nighttime Vina hears someone calling for help. Listening to this, Vina tries to wake Yadi up, but Yadi normalizes this and says that they'll clear up it tomorrow. We will see, and anyway the sound will prevent after some time, and he or she will nod off quietly. That is to say, such sound used to return right here best. Now Vana cannot do something right here by myself. This is why she is going to sleep. But after some time, I call out to the cellular Vina, become a touch bowled over to look that the door opens on its own, because the cellular gate is always locked here. Vina can't prevent herself, and goes to peer what the matter turned into. Now going in advance, she meets a woman, seeing whom Vina stops right there. The female turns her face, after which she sees that the lady is there turned into a scary spirit. She were given very scared after seeing it, but it turned into truly her nightmare. Now she gets up in fear, and seeing her getting up all of a sudden, Yadi comes to her and asks her if she had any horrifying dream, on which she says yes to him. Then Yankee asks her to inform him about her dream, but within the interim the guards ask them to arise. Anyway, now they exit for a stroll, and these days is Vini's first day there, so Yankee brings her right here. She begins begins telling about Farron, who's a cruel warden, and he could be very unswerving to his grasp Mr. Harmon. Each of them have been very merciless. And then she tells about 2 female wardens there who that she changed into no longer desirable. She is also a bribe taker, and if a person offers her money, i.e. any cellmate offers her money, if he gives them cash, then they can stay right here properly. In any other case, they trouble them. Now Auntie tells her approximately a new warden added who has simply come right here, and he has not executed something incorrect to every person till now, but who is aware of that in a year or 2 he's going to also emerge as like that, when which Attic comes to them, and there he tells Vanna that she can ought to go together with him to the doctor, and Vanna does the equal, or says that the physician she could be very exceptional, so he's going to like her. Now Vinny meets the doctor, whose name is Dr. Rydia. She is without a doubt a psychologist. She asks him about his modern day, however Vinny was now not able to apprehend why he is so angry. What ought she say? Then the health practitioner gives her a form to replenish. Vinny asks if that is a psychology check. Rydia says that she simply wants to understand her higher, and perhaps she has been referred to as due to the fact she did now not come right here. Then Vina tells him about the sounds she heard ultimate night time, and the medical doctor says that the sound became coming from the isolation room. She comes right here frequently, and she has heard some rumors from the prisoner that there are ghosts in that region and some paranormal incidents appear there, but she thinks all that is nonsense due to the fact that location is very dangerous, and this is why people suppose that there is some hassle there. Properly now Rydia ends the session and comes lower back to Vana Yin, wherein she tells her that Rydia here is very first class, and she is like a mom to all the prisoners. Then he asks her. She asks him what's this isolation room, on which she receives a bit scared. He tells her that the isolation room is near their cellular. Yachty tells her softly that the region isn't always excellent. It's miles cursed, and there was a sacrifice there closing night time. Had took place approach, she became killed. She says that very few humans return from the isolation room. Vina gets a little scared on listening to this, and meanwhile Attic comes there and takes Vina with him. Vina asks him that where is he taking her, to which he tells her that he's going to take her to the kitchen in order that he can assist Miss Sekar in the kitchen. Miss Sekar is the senior inmate right here who used to attend to the kitchen work, i.e. cooking, and so on. However, here Attic comes to the point. He tells Vina that Miss Sekar, whatever it is, she knew Radna very well. Perhaps she can get a few information from Sakar, but how did he realize approximately Vina's sister? And the most vital aspect is how did he recognize the cause why Vina has come here? Well, now he tells that he has been assigned by Simon to assist Vini. Now here we are proven a small flashback in which after the dying of his sister, Vini needed to know the motive behind her demise at any value. Here she has a legal professional and prosecutor to whom she appeals to put her in prison in order that she can find out the motive behind her sister's loss of life, and this prosecution changed into none other than Simon, who had assigned Attic. And now you can see why this location turned into extraordinary from the relaxation of her done, and why it changed into higher and most effective after his enchantment. Simon did this. So this became the complete tale right here. Here Attic will completely guide Vini, and then he introduces her to Miss Saker and goes from there. Miss Saker and he prepare dinner meals, and after that she serves meals to all of the prisoners. Meanwhile, a bull comes there and asks for more food, on which Vina tells her that everyone gets equal share here. Then Saker comes and offers greater food to the bull because she did not need any problem, after which Vina starts taking food, and here she refuses to take veggies due to the fact she does not like vegetables. Then Miss Saker tells her that veggies are appropriate for health, and actually Vina has eaten greens. She is reminded of a woman who also did not like veggies, and her name become Radna, and right here taking her apart, Vini tells her that she is Radna's sister, and he or she wants to know what befell to her. Then Miss Saker tells her, she says that Radna turned into a very good woman, and she or he changed into in jail without any purpose, and perhaps someone had framed her. She comes to realize about his death, and that she turned into trap. Vana wants to realize the whole tale from her, but Saker tells her that now isn't always the proper time, and she will tell her the whole thing the next day. And then the scene moves to the bathroom wherein but Bella begins fighting with the two ladies, and in the interim Vinny comes there. Bella had already killed Vinny, so she grabs him with the aid of the throat. However, the wardens come and prevent her. However, Vinny had now caught Bella's attention, but the two ladies he helped are named Yeti and Jane, and that they thank Weena for saving them. Anyway, later inside the night we see Miss Saker, who is busy packing all of Sarah's stuff, that just then two prisoners come there and kill Miss Saker brutally. The subsequent day Vina begins looking for Miss Saker, but she cannot locate her everywhere. The biggest issue is that she become not visible by every person on account that morning, and she or he tells this to them whilst she goes to the health facility. She tells Adit that even he is no longer visible to them, he should simply be careful. Then we see Farron, who turned into with Yeti. Now Yeti gives cash to Farron to shift Yeti and Jane to a mobile, after which Vini and others are going together. Now Jane tells Vina that she is going to the bowl they stayed away from Ima, and at the same time as they had been going ahead, Vina sees a clip on Ima's head which she had talented to her sister Radna. Seeing this, she is going to her and asks her about the clip. I begin asking, but she shouts and drives me far from there. Actually, Ima, who became additionally placed in that isolation room, but she got here out from there. However, no one knew how this befell. Vana asks Yeti why he became positioned there, and he or she quietly tells him that it became for the mutton. Then we see Farron, who offers the money meant for Yeti to Harmon like a devoted but dependable man. From the verbal exchange, we come to recognize that they are now not going to do whatever with that a good deal money, and at the same time, they're now not giving any cash to everybody. They have been speaking approximately executing her. Here, Vana meets Adit, in which Adit says that despite looking lots, he couldn't discover Miss Sucker anywhere. He tells Vini to be secure. After this, Vini goes straight from there. Seeing her close to Ima, Ima begins shouting. Then she explains to her that she is Radna's sister. Hearing this, she calms down due to the fact Radna become very close to her, and here she hugs Vana, after which she asks her that she desires to recognize approximately her sister, what came about to her. Then she tells the tale. Clearly one day Radna and Ima had been going collectively. Then Radna gives that clip to Ima, and inside the intervening time what happens is that Radna meets the bull due, to which Bella and Radna combat, and she or he beats Radna very badly. Seeing this, Harmon comes there, and here he asks the wardens to position Radna and Ima within the isolation room, whilst all of the others are there. It was Bella's mistake. He did now not say anything to her, and what befell after that, Ima is not in a position to inform him. The subsequent scene comes closer to nighttime, where even after taking the cash, Farron betrays Yeti and fingers over Jane to Bella, and then Bella tortures him. Anyway, day after today, Yeti fights with Farron. She comes due to the fact he cheated her, and now she does not know what took place to Jane, and in which she is. Well, right here, Farron catches her and asks her if she thinks that she will make a residing with this little money. This should purchase her the place, and he beats her and locks her inside the isolation room, wherein she goes mad and begins ingesting herself raw. Then a warden opens the mobile to present her meals, after which she comes out of the cellular. It attacks and bites even the Yeti, and inside no time, the Yeti is also killed, which means that some hassle was happening internal this isolation room. Anyway, tomorrow, Nay is referred to as for a Radia session, and in keeping with that, what takes place with the Yeti and Jane is determined. This took place due to the fact she precipitated Yeti for Bella. That is why he fought with Bella. This occurs with Carrie and her. They are both positioned within the isolation room. Then Vina receives irritated and tells Radia that once human beings get bullied right here, they're killed and many people die unnatural deaths. Then nobody raises voice. Now on listening to this, Radia apologizes to her and says that it's far her work. She has to do it. She simply desires to make this area an excellent area to stay. Everything must be fine. However, right here, Vinny Moo that became no longer there, so she leaves from there. She goes without delay to Adit, and now she seriously wanted to go to that isolation room herself and spot what occurs there. She asks Adit if he should take her there. She can cross there, then he says that he most effective is limited access. Right here she thinks of one component that after every person fights with a bull, then he's put in the isolation room. Now Vina knew how she ought to get into that room. I will pass after combating with Bila, after which we see Farron bringing by to Harmon. Here Harmon wanted to get a few paintings performed from her, and we come to understand that Bila did all this on Harmon's instructions. Actually, Bila had kids outdoor, and via them Harmon used to blackmail her that he could kill them. But now Bella doesn't want to work for him anymore because her photograph is getting tarnished because of all this, but Harmon blackmails her again, and now Bella's next goal is Vina due to the fact she is growing an excessive amount of problem for him, because of which she has to say yes. And now the scene adjustments, and we see Beanie, who had made a complete plan to move inside the isolation room. Adit stops her and tells her that if she goes there, then she will be able to get into problem. There could have been a hazard to her life, and if something takes place to her, then no one could know what would show up to Radna. Along with Radna, she might also continue to be a mystery, but the component was that she turned into now not frightened of demise. What needed to be completed had to be performed, but then he remembered Simon's phrases wherein Simon had told him that regardless of how a great deal people die there, their post-mortem is executed privately in the jail. Inside the file, its Miles stated that they committed suicide, and the same issue turned into cited in Radna's document too. However, Vana does now not believe that her sister should have completed this. Now the scene adjustments, and absolutely everyone turned into having meals. Then Vini comes with a knife and begins transferring towards Bella. Yachty tries to stop her, but she doesn't prevent and directly places the knife in Bella's hand. But Bella's pal begins fighting together with her, and then Bella also is available in between with a knife. However, via mistake she kills her buddy, after which Vina and she or he begin combating, after which the Protect comes and knocks them each unconscious, and Vina is taken to jail. Is put within the isolation room, which means in the end what she wanted changed into finished, and sooner or later, she got here internal that room properly after this meals comes for her, after consuming which she starts getting a little stressed. Maybe they have got given her meal something become mixed in the jar, and now he begins seeing a ghost there, and then he is going to fulfill her in the isolation cell. She comes here, and now how did she come to fulfill him so effortlessly? And she or he herself tells this component additionally that clearly she changed into in cahoots with the one's people. Sure, and right here she had mixed LSD drug in his food, and that is why she became speaking to Lucian approximately ghosts and spirits. And here she tells him that he was the one who killed her sister Radna, and he additionally got sick or killed, and the biggest aspect is that Farhan and Harmon were the primary gamers of this sport. Here they had used the empty bowl as a pawn to show that he's the primary one, that is, the prisoner who's maximum risky. But in fact, the maximum risky prisoner right here is Yankee himself. So really people are given tablets interior this isolation chamber, due to which they concept that there have been ghosts there. However, they used to kill every person there, meaning the maximum dangerous Kalpeta, in order that they could sell the frame components in the black marketplace, and that they were doing this work for a long term. Everything from kidneys to heart, he used to take it out and sell it, which gave him desirable money. Right here, he used to inform Vina she became approximately to kill her by giving an overdose, but Vina catches her and injects her with the opposite injection, which kills her, after which Vina starts leaving from there. Here we see Bila, who became subconscious, and her kidney turned into also damaged. They had been approximately to be taken out, but she wakes up and kills them and escapes. Now Bella was moving ahead, killing all the guards one after the other. Now on the alternative facet, anyone gets to recognize that Vina has run away, and so everybody was attempting to find her. Now here Farron unearths Vina and attempts to attack her. However, Ima comes there, which means she became seeking to store her, then Farron kills her. I assume he did that he need to have tried to keep Radna as well. Well, after this, he again tries to do the identical element with Vina, but this time Attic comes and stabs him. And here Attic tells Vina that they could escape from right here, but only Simon can store them. However, for that he needed to provide them information through phones. One to Harmon's workplace in the second scene in Rydia's workplace. She tells that illegal organ trafficking occurs here, and Harmon is the mastermind in the back of all this. Attic gets very irritated on listening to this. He sends Vina to Rydia's workplace due to the fact she was a good lady right here, and Rydia K begins going to the workplace, but then Harmon comes and prevents her. Now Attic is attempting to forestall her, but he knocks him down and makes him subconscious. In the interim, she runs away from the other facet, and the bull beats all of the prisoners. She opens the door, which causes a stampede. Just then Vina involves Rydia and tells her everything that was happening. She starts using the phone, and within the meantime Rydia offers her water, after ingesting which Vina had become unconscious. Yes, really Rydia changed into also involved in all this, and he or she used to foe to be good, after which Vina opens her eyes, and she finds Rydia in front of her, and Harmon turned into additionally together with her. Harmon and Rydia's husband, these are wives, and even greater stunning thing was right here that Rydia tells her that she already knew that she will be able to come right here for her sister, so she had already thought about her loss of life right here. She became approximately to give her injection while the lighting fixtures burst off, which become done by using Attic, and now Attic comes there and kills Harmon, and within the intervening time Vina injects Rydia with the equal drug, which ends up in Rydia seeing quite a few spirits. It seems that this changed into happening because of this drug, after which a fire breaks out there, and Attic and Vinny break out from there. Here all the prisoners are shifting forward after killing the guards, while the special force arrives there, who controls all of them, and all the prisoners are caught once more. Now after this, the scene movements ahead some months, in which we come to know that the isolation room turned into sealed all the time, and now Vina is satisfied because she got justice for her sister, and he or she will also write an ebook about this, which she will show to Adifir first. Now after this in the video, we see that Adifir and Vinny reunite Bella with her daughter, which makes Bella very glad, meaning Bella become not grimy, however changed into getting used, and boom, the movie ends with this. But wait now, there's a mid-credit scene within the movie where we are shown Simon, who's on a name with someone pronouncing that Harmon and Rydia are useless, and now they could open the isolation room. Once more, that approach right here, he become also involved on this in a roundabout way. That is, the real mastermind become himself. That is, its subsequent component must additionally in reality come. So I hope you favored this film. The movie is quite thrilling and the ghosts are proven, but they were now not actual. Here, by means of using capsules, awful matters have been being finished with the prisoners, and now you need to have understood what happened to Radna right here, and why there was not anything like this here. Was able to speak due to the fact she had visible something that had ruined her thoughts. So friends, I hope that you ought to have liked the film Bangsal Isolasi, i.e. Isolation World. It's far a totally thrilling mystery thriller film. It's far a very good movie from Indonesia. If you appreciated it, then just like the video.